Aquarius, if you have been guided to these words, it is not a twist of chance. Ancient forces, invisible threads and cosmic pulses have pushed your energy toward this message. It was no accident. A sacred synchronicity decided that you would hear what is about to be revealed. That vibration you feel in your chest is not nervousness, it is recognition. Your soul already knew this call would come. And as I place my hands over the cards, a glow activates, whispering to me. When Aquarius listens to this, something inside will break open to let clarity be born. Because there is a phrase that will repeat like a torch throughout this reading. I am worthy of the light that calls me. Engrave it, because later you will understand why it emerges from the beginning like an ignited seed. And as the deck breathes between my fingers, I feel the gravity of what awaits you, a silent urgency that vibrates, as if the sky itself told you. Stay here, because what you will hear today can completely alter the direction of your day, and even your destiny. The first card that turns is not gentle, but it is necessary. It rises like a whisper of warning, the confirmation of what you have been sensing in recent cycles. A nearby shadow, an obstacle without a clear face but moving through your thoughts like a heavy mist. This card speaks of hidden enemies. Although the word enemy is only a human attempt to name what the energetic plane knows better as interference. It is not always a person. Sometimes it is an old habit, sometimes a doubt that plants thorns, sometimes a memory that binds you like a cold chain wrapped around your heart. Here the card points to a returning pattern, a cycle you thought you had overcome but is trying to slip back toward you. And it is precisely because you are advancing that this shadow becomes restless. Haven't you noticed it? Every time you are about to break an internal limit, something appears to hold you back. Every time your soul grows, a dark echo whispers that you cannot. And yet you are here. And that alone is a sign that this time you will not be dragged down. But wait. The deck has not finished speaking. When I connect to your energy, I see the figure of a guardian, a presence that does not seek to frighten you, but to remind you who you are. Because Aquarius, you have mistaken your brilliance for fragility. You have forgotten that even in your apparent chaos there is a sacred architecture, a greater plan that activates when you stop running from yourself. And in this reading, the universe shows that you are entering a period where masks will fall. Are you ready to know who truly walks with you and who has been feeding from your light without contributing their own? Are you prepared to see, without filters, those who claim to support you but only do so when you do not outshine them? This is the point where the energy intensifies. This reading is not gentle. It did not come to cradle you to sleep, it came to shake you awake. And the universe insists on that phrase once more. I am worthy of the light that calls me. I do not repeat it out of habit. It is a decree that opens doors, breaks locks, and clears the path where your steps will grow stronger. At this moment, if you feel it, if something burns inside you like a spark, write it in the comments as an energetic seal that will echo through your timeline. Write without fear. I am worthy of the light that calls me. That simple act opens channels you cannot yet imagine. Now breathe. This is only the beginning. What comes next is the expansion of the message, the deeper development of what the cosmos wants to convey. The second card that emerges is a turning point. It is the card of inner time, the one that appears when the soul of Aquarius is being called to purify its vision. And here a vivid landscape opens. The universe shows you are entering a period where clarity will be your strongest weapon. You will no longer fall into emotional traps, no longer guard wounds that are not yours to carry, no longer hold stories others have hung on you like unnecessary weight. Inner time demands that you observe when and where you lost yourself, so you can recover. Because only those who recognize their wound can transform it into wisdom. And then comes the question that illuminates this part of the horoscope. What would you do if you knew that today you could break the streak of bad luck that has been following you? This is not a rhetorical question. It is the exact point where your reading shifts direction. Because the card shows you are standing at a threshold. Behind you lies confusion, stagnation, the era of giving more than you received. Ahead lies a fertile territory where divine justice begins to manifest. And no, it will not arrive softly. Divine justice sometimes comes like a lightning bolt splitting the old to make room for the new. Here, the universe asks me to give you a direct, unadorned message. Your enemies will tire before you fall. Those who have spoken behind your back will be exposed. Situations that seemed unfair will turn. And you, Aquarius, will understand that waiting was not wasted time. It was preparation. Because when justice arrives, it does not simply balance. It restores, reclaims, elevates. But do not be mistaken, the climax is yet to come. The twist of this reading has not been revealed. The card that will shift the line of destiny is still hidden. And when I turn it over, I feel it. The energy becomes lighter, the air opens, as if a door that was once locked has begun to move. It is the card of rebirth. And here, Aquarius, is where you receive what I promised you from the beginning. Here the sacred message the universe sent you to find is revealed. Rebirth does not come when you want it. It comes when you are ready. And you, without realizing it, already are. The card shows a path where once there was a blockage. It shows abundance where once you saw only scarcity. It shows love where once there was cold. It shows freedom where once you felt bound. Do you see the metaphor? The light breaking through even the deepest darkness does not do so to show off. It does so to remind you it was always there. You were the one who had closed your eyes. And beside this card comes another decree, one that vibrated the moment it touched my hands. Today I break what binds me and claim my destiny. Repeat it. Aquarius. Say it like someone invoking fire. Write it too, so your soul knows you have marked a before and after. And when you do, give a like to the video where you hear this reading. Not out of obligation, but as a symbolic act of gratitude to the universe for allowing these signs to reach you. In doing so, you not only support the message, you also reaffirm your decision to open yourself to more revelations, more guidance, more transformation. But this first part still has more to say. Because rebirth brings spiritual gifts, new paths, and deep shifts in 3 fundamental areas: love, finances, and work. Although the cards will continue unfolding this in the next part, today the universe wants to give you a preview, a promise, a breath of hope, a thread of light to hold on to as we advance, and love, a change emerges. Something begins to move slowly, like a thawing river. If you are single, a new bond enters your timeline, but not just anyone. Someone who will recognize your soul before your body. Someone who sees your essence. If you are in a relationship, a cycle of understanding comes. Healing old wounds. Comprehending what once you could not express. Misunderstandings fade, because clarity enters like a ray of light in your emotional life. In finances, the reading is powerful. Improvement is coming. Steady, progressive, like a solid structure that does not crumble. New opportunities, unexpected income, even the chance to recover something you thought was lost. Your efforts begin to bear fruit. In work, the universe urges you toward brave decisions. A change of direction, accepting a proposal, releasing a burden, reinventing yourself. The energy indicates that you can no longer stay where you were. Movement is inevitable. Aquarius, now that you have chosen to continue, the universe confirms your readiness. Not everyone reaches the second revelation. Only those who feel the deep, almost ancestral calling follow the thread of their destiny. And you, by being here, are already shifting invisible lines that place you on a new vibrational level. The cards feel it. My hand trembles lightly when touching them, not from fear, but from the intensity of what they carry. There are messages too vast for a single chapter, and this is one of them. In this continuation, the deeper layers of your energy unfold, those you rarely allow anyone to see. And again, something urges me to remind you of the decree that illuminates your path. I am worthy of the light that calls me. This mantra will repeat 3 times in this part, like an internal beacon helping you absorb what comes without resistance. This time we do not begin with warnings, but with recognition. The universe shows me a spiritual map where your name glows. I see scars, decisions, losses, lessons, all arranged not as chaos, but as if each event had been placed exactly where it needed to be so that today you could understand what you were destined to comprehend. The second part of this horoscope does not arrive to tell you what you already know. It comes to elevate it, amplify it, and guide it toward the climax that awaits later. But before that, I must reveal something that hid between the lines of the previous part. You were not fighting something external, Aquarius. You were fighting something internal. A silent battle the world never saw, but one that exhausted you more than any visible conflict. And now, for the first time in a long time, that battle reaches a decisive point. Let me say it clearly. What hurt you was not the darkness of others. It was your own doubt. The thought that made you question whether you truly deserved what you envisioned. The voice that whispered you were asking for too much. And yet here you are moving forward. Only the brave do that. And this reading is here to remind you that you have already paid enough emotional tolls. You have carried enough long nights questioning your worth. It is time to claim. To lift your head. to extend your hand toward what the universe has kept for you. And now a crucial card emerges. The Threshold. A card that rarely appears because it does not mark an external event, but a spiritual state. The Threshold speaks of standing between two worlds, who you were and who you are destined to become. You are no longer entirely in one place, nor fully in the other. You are in transition. And it is here, in this in-between space, that voices try to confuse you, that old energetic enemies attempt to drag you back into old patterns. That is why this part of your message begins by elevating your perception. Because you cannot cross this threshold with old burdens. You must release. You must look ahead without fear. You must allow the old self to die so the new you can rise with strength. A shadow appears on the edge of this card, but it is not a physical enemy. It is a fear. Perhaps of success, perhaps of failure, perhaps of the responsibility that comes with growth. Have you wondered why sometimes, when you are on the verge of achieving something big, you stop or sabotage yourself? The universe answers. It is not laziness, it is not incapacity. It is ancestral fear of shining beyond what was once allowed. But the cards are clear. That boundary no longer exists. The only thing that can hold you back now is the mistaken belief that you are not enough. And I am here to tell you that there is no room for that belief anymore. Not in this new cycle, not in this rebirth. This is where the energy turns warmer. It feels as if a door of light slowly begins to open. And as it does, a third card rises from the depths of the deck, the card of inner freedom. Every time it appears, it brings a message that shakes. This card shows your soul breaking invisible chains, as if a silent cry of liberation expanded from your chest. Inner freedom is not a gift. It is a conquest. And the universe wants you to hear this with full attention. Your spirit has waited a long time for this moment. Through pain, through effort, through frustration, there was always a part of you that stayed lit, even if only as a tiny spark. That spark is now becoming fire. And with inner freedom comes an even deeper revelation. You are not only breaking patterns, you are healing memories that are not only yours. You are releasing inherited burdens, energies passed down through generations, and you by destiny, by divine design, chose to transform them. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Aquarius, you came to break cycles, to interrupt family patterns, to cut silent pacts, to end repeated stories. Your life was never simple because your mission was never small. And again, the universe asks me to remind you of your decree. I am worthy of the light that calls me. Not as a simple mantra, but as the key that opens the next part of your reading. Repeating it is an act of pure magic. And if you feel it, if your chest vibrates as you read it, write it as a sign that you are prepared to receive the abundance approaching you. Aquarius, now we enter the emotional expansion. Love begins to take a clearer shape. What was once an announcement now becomes a revelation. The card that appears is the Sacred Encounter. This card announces the arrival of a love unlike any you have known. This new bond does not come to teach you through pain. It comes to teach you through recognition. It is a meeting of souls, not of masks. And if you are in a relationship, this card reveals reconciliations, deep understanding, mutual forgiveness, a rediscovery of the person beside you. It is the rebirth of love. A clean cycle. A healthy cycle. A cycle where you are seen again. But do not misunderstand, the love coming now does not arise from need or emptiness. It comes from freedom, from calm, from self-recognition. Only when you see yourself can you receive a love that is true. In finances, the cards show imminent movement. A positive change, yes, but more than that, they show an opportunity that arrives disguised. It may appear as a casual conversation, an unexpected comment, a door that looks small but opens into a vast passage. The card here is the golden seed, symbol of future prosperity. This card signals that what enters your hands will be lasting, not temporary, something that grows with time. And the universe insists, be alert. This opportunity will not come twice. Now in your work life, clarity appears stronger than ever. You finally understand your worth. You will no longer accept less than what you deserve. You will no longer allow others to benefit from your effort without acknowledgement. The cards show ascension, improvement, a leap. It may be a new job, a promotion, a personal project, taking off, or a long-delayed decision finally made. Whatever it is, the energy points to inevitable growth. And when I say inevitable, I mean the cards show that even if you hesitate, Even if fear slows you, life itself will push you forward. Here comes the short phrase you must write in the comments to strengthen your path. Today I open my roads with courage. This seals this chapter, reaffirms your willingness to change, and magnetizes what is coming. And after writing it, as a symbolic gesture of gratitude to the universe for allowing this message to reach you, give a like to the video where you hear this reading. Not just as support, but as a pact with yourself. A pact of openness, readiness, and faith. In doing so, you seal your willingness to continue receiving signs, guidance, and abundance. Aquarius, now comes the card that marks the strongest spiritual twist in this part. The Cosmic Justice card. It arrives not by accident, but as the response to your pain, your silent effort, the times you gave without expecting anything. This card announces that what seemed unfair will be balanced. What seemed lost will be recovered. What seemed stuck will begin to move. And best of all, masks will fall. People, situations, and hidden truths will be revealed. And you, Aquarius, will finally see with clarity who truly stands beside you and who only pretended to. Cosmic Justice also announces protection. Spiritual, emotional, and material. A clear sign that you are being accompanied by forces watching over you, even when you do not notice. And here the universe asks me to give you a direct message. Trust. Even if you do not understand how, trust. Even if the results take time, trust. Even when you feel alone, trust. Because this chapter was designed for you. And before moving toward the climax that will appear in the final part, the universe reminds you for the third time of your sacred decree. I am worthy of the light that calls me. Feel it. Internalize it. Let it activate your inner energy. Aquarius, if you are still here, it is because your soul does not fear truth. This third part is not merely an ending. It is the highest point of your entire reading. It is the moment when the universe reveals what it had concealed until you were ready. And now you are. Everything before this, the warnings, the hidden enemies, the rising justice, the awakening of your inner strength, has all been the preparation for what you are about to receive. As I lay the cards before me, the energy shifts. I no longer feel the weight of warning but the clean vibration of awakening. It feels like a door of light opening right behind you, illuminating not only your present but the vast possibilities of your future. And in that radiance, a phrase echoes like a cosmic heartbeat. Today I break what binds me and claim my destiny. That phrase, which appeared like fire in the first part, now becomes the soul's final declaration. Keep it close. It is the seal that opens your path. The first card revealed in this final part is the card of Absolute Awakening. A powerful, intense card, one that does not appear for just anyone. This card indicates that you are entering a phase where nothing will stop your progress. Neither doubt nor criticism nor memories of the past. It is a quantum leap, a divine alignment between the universe and your spirit. Absolute awakening is that spark that turns darkness into clarity, that breaks the chains of old beliefs, that makes you see that life was not punishing you. It was pushing you toward a higher consciousness. But the card hides something I must reveal. Your streak of bad luck, that lingering shadow, was not a punishment. It was training. It was sharpening your intuition. Aquarius, you sense what others overlook. You feel vibrations before events unfold. You know without knowing how you know. And life was preparing you for the spiritual rebirth that is now fully unfolding. The second card is the Sacred Mirror. A deeply symbolic card that reveals what you avoided looking at. Your power. Not ego-driven power, not arrogance, but true inner power. The power of the soul. The ability to transform your reality from within. The Sacred Mirror reflects your essence without distortion. And what I see is this: a stronger Aquarius than you admit, more prepared than you believe, more valuable than you've been told. I see resilience, intuition, creativity, and a light that never extinguished, even during your darkest moments. So this card asks you directly: are you ready to stop doubting yourself? Are you ready to embrace who you truly are? Are you ready to take your rightful place on your path? Because everything in this reading leads to one point: your victory. But the turning point, the moment you have been waiting for since the first part, comes now. The card that shifts your destiny line appears. The Sun of Justice. One of the most powerful cards in the deck. This card announces triumph after the storm, light after darkness, freedom after chains. It speaks of completed cycles, resolved conflicts, unexpected victories, doors opening, and people receiving what they deserve, whether good or bad. The Sun of Justice exposes something essential. Those who harmed you will face their consequences. Not because you demand it, but because the energy of the universe does not allow anything built on deceit to endure. Just as light exposes, divine justice arranges. This energy cleans, severs, restores, vindicates, protects. It returns what was yours. It opens doors that were sealed. And above all, it shields you. Now the entire journey makes sense. Everything, the warnings, the shadows, the lessons, was preparing you for this moment. A moment where darkness can no longer hold power over you. Where hidden enemies fall away. Where your steps become firm, and your energy radiates like sacred fire. Here comes the sentence you must write as your final decree. Today I open my roads with courage. Write it not mechanically, but as someone who opens a destiny. As someone who steps into their new life. Now we enter the emotional climax. The next card is the Unified Soul. A rare and deeply meaningful card. It speaks of destined encounters, of bonds that survive storms, of souls recognizing each other even across distances. If you are single, this card confirms what has already been unfolding. Someone arrives who does not fear your depth, your intensity, your uniqueness. Someone who sees your soul before your flaws. A clean connection. A true one. If you're in a relationship, this card brings healing, reconnection, renewed trust, and deeper understanding. Love rebirths. The bond strengthens. You are seen again. You are valued again. You are loved again. The universe wants you to know. The love entering your life now is not the love that hurt you. It is not the love that drained you. It is not the love that created doubt. This is mature, healed, elevated love, worthy of someone who has awakened. And finances. The reading becomes even more powerful. The next card is the Living Gold. Absolute symbol of abundance. This card marks the beginning of a long-lasting prosperous cycle. Not sudden luck, not a fleeting opportunity, but growth with strong foundations. New opportunities, income expansions, successful projects, and financial recovery appear clearly. For some Aquarius, this card signals a major shift. Launching a business, receiving a large offer, securing a contract that marks a before and after. In your work life, another powerful card appears. The Ascending Path. A staircase of glowing steps symbolizing unstoppable progress. This card shows you rising steadily, step by step, without interruption. Recognition, elevation, advancement. The universe is telling you clearly. You will no longer stay where you were. You will no longer shrink. You will no longer accept less than your worth. And now, the most important spiritual card emerges. The Guardian of Light. This card announces divine protection. You are not alone. You have never been alone. But now, more than ever, your spirit is being shielded, guided, and lifted. This card symbolizes heightened intuition, clearer dreams, constant signs, and inner peace after turmoil. Aquarius, the universe now gives you your final symbols. Your color. Gold. Power, illumination, blessing. Your numbers. 12, 30, 51, and 88. Your spiritual energy. Awakened, aligned, manifesting. Before closing, the universe gives you this message directly. Do not fear what comes. Do not step back. Do not doubt. This is your cycle. This is your victory. This is your light. This is your rebirth. Seal everything you've received with the final decrees of your path. I am worthy of the light that calls me. Today I break what binds me and claim my destiny. Today I open my roads with courage. Aquarius, this reading did not reach you by curiosity. It arrived because your soul summoned it. Because this was the exact day, the exact moment, the exact alignment meant for you.